Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Friday the 28th of June. With McShane, we're working our way through Matthew's Gospel, today chapter 8, which begins with the story of the healing of a leper. Verse 2, a man with leprosy came and knelt before him and said, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Jesus reached out his hand and touched the man. "I am willing," he said, "be clean." Immediately he was cleansed of his leprosy. Then Jesus said to him, "See that you don't tell anyone, but go, show yourself to the priest, and offer the gift Moses prescribed as a testimony to them." So here is Jesus meeting somebody's need, but going beyond that. As a leper, that man would have been ostracized and excluded and kept out of society, and anything he touched and anyone who touched him became unclean. So for however long he'd had leprosy, there'd been virtually nobody that would have touched him. In the marketplace, in the crowds, in the town, people would have skirted around him, made sure they gave lots of room that they didn't come anywhere near coming into contact with him, because that would have made them unclean. And so here was a man that had been sort of isolated in that way for so long. And Jesus, we're told, reached out his hand and touched the man. He didn't have to do that. The very next story is a Roman centurion comes and says, "My servant's ill." Jesus says, "Must I come?" He says, "No, just give the word." Jesus does. He just speaks, and the servant, some distance away, wherever he was, we're not told, Jesus got nowhere near him, and he was healed. Jesus didn't have to touch the leper, but he did. Because it wasn't just the leprosy, it was the man being a social outcast, which also was a problem. So Jesus touching him, that is probably the first time anyone had touched that man for a long, long time. And Jesus met that need in him as well. And then he says, "Go and show yourself to the priest." Because it was the priest who had the job of looking and investigating and declaring whether a person was clean or unclean. And until a priest had certified his healing, the rest of the community would still view him as unclean. So in Jesus telling this man, "Go and show yourself to the priest," he's in a sense saying, do what you need to do so that you can be reintegrated into the community, that you can become part of society once again. So he met all the needs that this man had, not just the obvious need of leprosy. And we need to take comfort and courage from the fact that Jesus does the same with us. We might see one aspect of our lives which needs healing, but Jesus can minister to those other areas of our lives which we haven't even acknowledged or noticed yet. And Jesus can bring complete healing as we come to him. So be encouraged to come to the Lord with whatever the needs are, knowing he can and he does meet them. Be blessed.